Hello, Raleigh. This is Whitney Hill. For those of you who aren't familiar with me, I just completed a run for Raleigh City Council District A. Wasn't successful, but I am going to continue to report on what's happening with Raleigh. And the title of this video is What About North Raleigh? And it could be, what about Southeast Raleigh? Could be, what about West Raleigh? Could be uh, titled What About Raleigh Outside of the Downtown? Because it seems like a lot of the conversation goes on about what we need to do downtown, and usually that means a bond referendum and an increase in taxes for Raleigh citizens. Well, one of the things that I encountered as I was out knocking on doors when I ran, and I knocked on about 1,500 doors, uh, did a lot of work extensively to find out what was important to the constituents in North Raleigh, my district, District A. And one of the big things that was discovered was that their taxes went up quite a bit, property taxes. And the folks who really see it are the folks who paid for their homes. And maybe they're on a fixed income. And what happens there is they get a tax bill boom, and for some of these folks their property taxes went up like $4,000, just for example, and that comes in a bill that they have to pay. And for someone who's on a fixed income, that's a really difficult thing. So one of the first things I'm seeing is the discussion is how we're going to make downtown safer, and that's a good thing, very much a good thing. But also, how are we going to make downtown better? Well, we just, really just started construction of a extension of the Civic Center, which basically means doubling the size of the Civic Center. The Civic Center, I pretty much believe, was been underutilized. We haven't it does cost the city money. The revenues that are brought in with the current civic center aren't enough to fund the operation. Well, you can make a case that because that brings business into Raleigh, that's a good thing. But at the same time, we just, we're doubling the size of it, something that's already been an operational liability for the city. And someone has to pay for that. And that's being paid for by raising the taxes of the city folks at large. I can tell you this from talking to a lot of people in North Raleigh, they are not even going to go downtown. So when their tax bill goes up and they have to pay for these things, they're scratching their head saying, are we just, being a slave to the special interests downtown? Now, I'm all about downtown. I'm all about having building more down there so we have people living downtown that can take advantage of the resources down there, about helping lower income folks to be able to actually buy down there and own their own homes downtown, where versus just building housing projects down there for affordable housing. So these are some things I just want to point out. I'm going to be watching very closely, and hopefully, as we move forward, we're going to be able to manage what development does need to be downtown within the bounds of our taxes that we have right now. I I'm a little bit upset that the solution to the housing project, the housing situation for affordable housing turns out to be, oh, gee, we're going to spend $70 million a year building housing projects and not, hey, why don't we just free up unused city land and put in a program here for people to actually be able to buy their own units and have a fixed housing payment for the next 30 years. So my name's Whitney Hill. Those are my views. Whitney for Raleigh. let me know what you think in the comments below.